Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another weekly forecast and review on the Aussie dollar. So I've got a lot planned for today. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. So like always, if there's something in particular that you want to watch, just hover your cursor over the timeline. All the timestamps will be there and in the description below. But if you just want to watch my entire weekly review, all the trades I took last week, the explanations as to why, what I think will happen next week, doing that all live on the charts today. I did not actually pre-prepare any of my forecasting. Today, I've decided to do it right here on the spot so that you guys can see the exact thoughts of what goes into my forecasting and pretty much what I think is going to happen next week. So if you're new to the videos, I do this every single week along with vlogs and other content. You can expect about 2 to 3 videos a week. So if that sounds cool to you, then hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, just watch on and see how it goes. So to start things off, I'm going to be talking about the trades which I took last week. Now, if you're a follower of this channel already, you would know that I'm currently trying to pass the FTMO challenge. So last week was all about the FTMO challenge, and yeah, I mean, spoiler, I ended up passing the first part. The only thing is I haven't met enough trading days. I still need to take at least 2 more trading days for the challenge to be passed before I move on to my verification stage, but that'll be like, I'll talk about that in another video. So let's get into my trades and I'll give you guys a brief rundown on what actually happened and why I took those trades. So most of my trades were taken on the 5 and the 15-minute time frame, just using the lower hourly ones just to give me a general gauge of what's going on. So for that reason, I'm going to analyze everything on the 15-minute time frame because that's pretty much how I took all my trades. So coming into the week, I think I mentioned in the last video that I was looking at a possible double top formation, and that's pretty much what happened. And as you see, there was a huge drop. But let's get into the first 2 trades. Now the first 2 trades was one original trade and then a scale in on that original trade. So pretty much what I saw here was a higher low, and which like this higher low created a channel, and the top part of this channel has already been created from the past. So I knew that after bouncing off the support and especially coming up above the 0.77 level, that price was going to make its way to the resistance. So that's exactly what I did. I entered long right here, and now pretty much the trades which you see, the exact entry may deviate. Like, it's not exactly where you see it on the charts. It might be maybe 15 minutes before or after. It was hard to come back and do all that exactly to the T. So pretty much I entered a little bit early. What I thought here was, first of all, there was a Fibonacci retracement. So I saw price come here, reject the 0.5 twice, and I think I entered around there after seeing strong wicks to the 0.5 and the significant level. But price did drop, so I was in a bit of drawdown to start with, but that's why it's very important to have good stop losses. What I could have done was place a stop loss below here, so that would have been a nicer risk to reward, but at that point I did not know that, you know, price touched here, so I went for the last low and played it safe. So there was about 3-4 confluences there, and pretty much I saw price coming back up and I decided to scale in. Now I can't tell you exactly why I decided to scale in right here, I just decided to. Now price created a double top. This would have been a very good sell opportunity, to be honest, and I'm kind of mad that I missed it, but I'm not mad at all, honestly. Like, it looks like a nice trade, like retrospectively looking at it. Oh, that's so clean. But hey, let's get into the next few trades. So pretty much once I saw price break the 0.77, my thoughts about this was, okay, I know that the Aussie dollar is in a strong uptrend and it's flying right now. So this break below the significant level, I think, was just like a fake out, just taking out a lot of the traders going long. So I decided to be patient and see where price was going to. So I saw it take a massive dip, started creating higher lows, not so much higher highs until it made its way up here. Once I saw, you know, this level here, I was curious about what price was going to do here, because this is where price stopped. There was some action there. Pretty much I just saw this as a break and retest of this little area. So pretty much what I saw here was a strong bullish candle coming up above where all this price action was, and then there was just a retest. And yeah, so pretty much I did see it bounce on the trend line as well, so I decided to enter long. This one was not the smartest trade in my opinion. I still don't vibe with it too well, but I decided to scale in, and I feel like the scale in, this was a more appropriate entry right here, because we saw price come up above the 0.77, made a retracement, which if we chuck a fib on there, that's probably like a nice fib retracement. Boom, perfect. Many rejections to the 0.5 fib zone. So yeah, clean entry, like just there would have been alright, but I was waiting a little bit, so I let price come up a little bit, and once I saw like, okay, it's definitely bullish and it's not coming back down further to retest this area or the 0.618 or the other fib zones, I was confident that price was going to come up here. So pretty much that's where I took myself out, because price had come down. I mean, it's come up and created this downward sloping trend line. So yeah, that's pretty much the first 4 trades I took. Then I saw a triangle. So the triangle consisted of this slope, this downward slope, and this upward slope. I saw price reject the 0.77. It was just a clear break and retest pretty much. I didn't enter here. It was 2 in the morning. So as you can see here, this was more appropriate around 1:45. I continued this trend line, and pretty much price did not break and retest this part of the triangle. Instead, it came down to retest this trend line. So once I saw it touch that, then yeah, it just looked bullish, and I decided to enter. Can't tell you exactly why. And that's why this week I'm going to try and do my trades more vloggy style, so that I can capture my emotions and my thoughts right at the moment as the trade is happening. Because as I'm trying to go back and review it now, it's very clear that I don't have all the information which I did have when I was taking the trade. So I'm just doing my best to explain it. But yeah, pretty much I just saw price create a higher low. We'll chuck another fib on this. Boom, perfect. Back to the 0.5. So yeah, touch the 0.5, touch the trend line. It's a higher low. That's my 3 confluences right there. Now I don't only look for 3, I look for as many as I can. But in this case, it was about 3. So I entered long, and yeah, really nice trade. Honestly, this horizontal red line is where I took price out. So I saw a lower high here, and yeah, I just decided to take it out because I just thought it was going to drop down and retest here and keep flying up. But it went up, and well, instead of just thinking about, oh, I should have taken this trade, this and that, I was like, okay, well, I missed the opportunity to carry out the trade and squeeze as much profits as I could have out of it. So instead, I started looking for shorts. Now, what I did here was, this was a simple counter trend trade. So we'll draw this up. How did I do it? It was something like this. I saw price break this trend line, and as soon as I saw it break that trend line, I was thinking, okay, let's look for lower highs and lower lows. First of all, as you can see here, lower high, lower low, lower high. Once I saw that, I think I chucked another fib on that, but it wasn't that great. Okay, so it was to the 0.6. I don't really use this fib much, the 0.64. So I saw it reject that strongly, but I'm like, hey, I don't care what Fibonacci it rejected. I see that it's a very clear lower high. So once price crossed down past this moving average, I went short, and almost instantly price just melted down. Now this would have been a great re-entry, and I was thinking about it. Over the past week, there were many scale-in entries that I wanted to take, but I decided to play things a little bit more conservative, just take my time, understand what's happening a little bit more, and just trade a little bit better. So, or not trade a little bit more better, sorry, like just trade with less on my plate. I wanted to take things smooth and just trade confidently. So that's what I did, and most of these trades were about 0.5% risk, by the way. So if I played with a full risk, I would have been over 20% this week, which would have been great, but it is what it is. So I saw price melt, and I took price out here. I don't exactly remember why I took price out there. It was clearly a very bearish candle, and I should have known that price would have followed this trend line and, you know, came and touched it here. But didn't lose that many pips from that. Like what? Like, yeah, 7-8 pips. On the next trade, I can't tell you why I took this one. I think I was expecting price. Okay, so I saw price make a higher low. Alright, so with this trade here, pretty much I saw low, high, higher low, and this is actually a higher high from the previous move. So once price crossed the moving average, I took that as a go sign. I saw these two candlesticks here, which are suggesting very bullish movement, and you know, it went really well initially, but I held it, and for some reason I did not take or I did not set my breaks, my stop loss to break even, or I didn't take profits or anything like that. I left it, price melted down. There was a very clear lower high. I don't know why I didn't just exit there, but yeah, price came down and took me out. So yeah, the reason why I put my stop loss here was, I think my stop loss was actually lower, and I did talk about this in my other video, but pretty much when I'm trading on a channel, I don't want price to close below the channel. So that's why I moved it up a little bit, and once I saw this strong bearish candle close below the trend line, I just closed the trade. That was that. So I decided to think to myself, okay, well, this buy didn't work out. Could I be possibly looking for sells? I saw price, you know, hovering around this area. So usually when I trade, when I see price consolidating around a trend line, like the bottom of a trend line or something, then for me, I see that as the price is very weak and it's about to melt. So what did I do? I waited. I was very patient here. I was waiting until the London session for my time, and I'm in Australia at the moment. So yeah, it was about 5:30ish. I was like, okay, strong bearish candle, closed below the moving average. I see a lower high. A lower low has not yet been created, so you know, I didn't want to wait for it, so I just entered short, and you can see this was a great trade. This, you know, 1-to-9 risk reward ratio, but I didn't take it out there. Pretty much what happened was with this trade is at this horizontal line, I decided to take partial profits. I think I took about half a lot out here, and that left me with 0.3 lots. So price kept melting. I saw price start creating this, like it started doing a lot of shit here. It started making its way up. I saw a higher high, and I decided to cut it there. Now it did end up peaking up, making some more higher highs, but then price ended up melting and creating a lower low. So that would have been nicer to hold on to. Now the thing is, I took out my partial profits here. If I had not taken out these partial profits, honestly, by the time price got to there, I would have passed the FTMO challenge already. But because I didn't, it'd just be like that. I had to take another trade, which was my last trade. So at this point, I was already like 9.5% up. So I was pretty much just like, okay, I just need to take one more trade and make like $50, which was 0.5% of the $10,000, which I'm going for. So I waited patiently. I knew that this was going to affect my psychology, and I tried my best to not let it, because it's like, hey, I'm so close, I just need a little bit. I didn't want greed to come in and for me just to take whatever trade, and you know, could have gone wrong, and then that would have been horrible if I was like 9.5% up and then I dropped like 2%, and then I'd feel like I'd have to catch up on those gains or on those losses. So I waited for a nice opportunity. I saw price come into a channel, saw a steep drop, strong rejection, saw some consolidation around just above the moving average, like just solid wicks, as you can see, just wick to the moving averages. Saw price start making its way up, and I decided to enter long, and as soon as I got that 0.5%, I closed the trade. I knew that it was going up and that it was going to make its way to the resistance, but at this point I had already passed the first part of the challenge, so I just took it out and left it. So that's pretty much all the trades which I took last week, to be honest, for my FTMO challenge. And I was looking at the charts a little bit here and there afterwards, but at that point I was just completely stoked. I was really happy with my performance over the week, so I decided to just leave it, and I had a really nice time just celebrating that. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. So let's get into the forecasting. What do I think is going to happen this week? Alright, so now I'm going to go into what I think is going to happen this week and the trades which I'm looking for. So first off, straight off the bat, I see obviously a channel being made here. Now price closed below this channel, and then I saw it come up for a retest and it wicked the moving average and the resistance on the 2-hour time frame. So going into a smaller time frame, what I see here is some wicks. I mean, there's a lot, but first of all, I see wicks here. Strong rejection, rejection, rejections, and now this also lines up with the moving average. So I see at the moment a very bearish candle. It's pretty much retested the resistance, rejected the moving average, and this area of like price action. So at the moment, I mean, this might actually be a Fibonacci retracement too if we pull it down. Okay, perfect. It's wicked into the golden zone. So straight away I can see a very nice setup for a short. So first off, probably something like this. Pretty much what will invalidate this trade is price breaking back into the channel. So what I want to do is I want to stay in this trade where it's appropriate. So I'm moving my stop loss. It'd be somewhere around here, because if price comes back up into the channel, then it invalidates it. So I'll leave my stop loss up there somewhere, and I'm bringing my targets down to the next significant area, which is the 0.77. Now that is pretty much what I'm looking for at the moment, like just in regards to like short-term trades. On the 15-minute, it seems pretty reasonable to take this trade at the moment too. And yeah, so at the moment I'm gonna look at that. I'm probably gonna take note of this, or just leave this on the chart as a reminder, or I'll just do this. Okay, so I'll leave this arrow here because it's gonna remind me that, hey, price could possibly be coming down. But after it does come down, I don't think price is going to break below the 0.77. So pretty much I expect, or not that I expect, it seems likely that once price does retrace and come back down to the 0.77, that's going to set something up like this. It's going to set up another, it'll be roughly something like that. Like that. And what I'll be doing is looking for longs, because I know that price is very bullish right now, and my bias after all my technical analysis, fundamental analysis, I am very bullish on this pair. So once price does come down to this level, I will be looking for a setup to go long. Now hopefully it doesn't drop too far below, hopefully it does respect this trend line. If it does, then that's going to set up many more future trades. But I'll be targeting the top of that channel, so that will be another 5-ish%. Depending how I decide to, where I decide to enter, where I decide to put my stop loss. Now that I can't exactly tell you where I will put it, because it really depends on the price movement around those areas. But something like that. So this week, I mean, I'm going to keep it super simple, and that's sort of what I just want to look for. Keep it like this. I'm looking for a retracement down to the 0.77, and after that, I'm looking for longs, because I feel like price is going to get caught in this channel and make its way up. So if it does get retraced down to the 0.77, that is also creating a higher low, and that is also another reason why it's like, okay, that sort of makes sense. It'll be creating a higher low, rejecting the 0.77, and I don't think there's much else to that. Yeah, it's just fairly simple trade. Oh yeah, and the channel. So there's my 3 confluences to go long. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think will happen this week, but I'll keep my eye out on it. Anything could happen. There's lots of fundamentals happening this week. I've got my whiteboard behind me. Pretty much on Monday, we have the Aussie retails coming out. We have the China consumer figures coming out. Then we got more fundamentals for the USD on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, like retails, consumer sentiments. There's another speech on Thursday. More consumer stuff. Yeah, so there's a lot of fundamentals this week. I don't think I'm going to be trading too much this week, because I just need to take 2 more trades so that I can pass my trading day, my 10 trading days for the first part of the FTMO challenge. Once I'm cleared, I don't know how it works, but I know from here on I'll need to make a further 5% within 2 months. Once I do that, I'll become a funded trader and I'm going to have a $10,000 to trade with. So I'm going to take it slow. Like, I don't need a rush this week. I can take things super slow, easy, controlled, and pretty much that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of this week's weekly forecast and review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that just showing you the trades which made me successful for the first part of the FTMO challenge really helped you guys, brought you some value. If you have any questions, like why I took certain trades, or if you just any questions about my charts, my analysis, just drop a comment below. I'll try my best to answer it. Like I said, it's very hard to go back through old trades and tell you exactly why I took them, because my mindset, my mind state was different to what it is now. I can't remember exactly why I did it, but I can obviously just look at my charts and see the obvious reasons, like my confluences and that, but it goes deeper than that. So yeah, drop questions if you have questions below. If you liked the video, if it brought you value, if you genuinely enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. It will just, let me know that you guys enjoy the videos. I will continue to make these every single week. And yeah, that's it. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.